Today now I'll start the fourth module, that is nothing but the software testing and the software evolution. Any anyone having idea about software testing as well as software evolution? Testing means what and what is mean by software evolution? Here the main objective of by using software testing as well as software evolution. First you can describe the what exact how to test the software. Suppose if you're using the automation as well as the manual. Okay, the manual is nothing but here we can use the here it will be required the more like employees, but nowadays almost in the all the fields they are using the automation only. Okay, because instead of doing the 10 to 15 employees work, only the 5 people can do it. That work means the remaining thing automatically the computer will be doing that work. So that's why nowadays almost in all fields, not only in banking sector or any companies. So in nowadays almost in all companies, it will be taking the that automation only. So he has in automation they are using the some Selenium. So that one is on platform for testing this all software. And evolution means here we are using the some laws will be there, as well as the some techniques he is using, as well as the how exactly that laws as the techniques will be works with help of the that software testing. He has explained in that software evolution. And the first you should understand the what is the distinctions between validation testing as well as defect testing. What is mean by validation and what is mean by defect? So validation is nothing but suppose if you have done any project, okay, after doing that project, first you should check validation. So validation is nothing but okay, first if you have created the front end, after creating the front end, one user ID and password, that like that the dialog box will be displayed. Just you can take your Facebook login page or your Gmail login page. So in that case, after first you should enter your user ID and you can enter the password. Okay, suppose if I given the correct password, what exactly it will be shows, and suppose if I entered wrong password, so what type of the error it message it will be shows. First you can check the validation checks, and next and defect testing. Defect testing means find out in the errors. Suppose the developer has developed the code. After developing the code, that parts next goes to the testing. Okay, next process will be the testing. In that testing, so the tester will be find out in the defects, means find out in the errors in that whatever he has developed the modules, no, like nothing but the one module. Suppose if you are doing the blood bank management system, so in that blood bank management system some donor one module will be there. Okay, if you have written any Java or C programming, okay, so after writing the program you should run that program. Okay, after compiling some error message, before compiling that will be sent to the tester. The tester will be test the all the some steps will be there, the testing steps will be there. We will follow up that all the steps after testing. So how many errors will be there in that, like and in that program he will find outing the all the errors. After finding the errors, and he will once again he submit to the developer. This is first you should understand what is the difference between the validation testing as well as the defect testing. And next you should understand the principles of the the system testing and the component testing. And understand the strategies, how to generate the test cases. And uh, you should study the characteristics of the software tools as well as support test automation, how exactly the automation will be done with help of the test cases. So these all comes under the software testing as well as software evolution. And first here we are a combination of the two chapters. The software testing is a 23rd chapter, and that is the software evolution is another chapter. So software testing contain what is software testing, what is component testing, test case design, and test automation. This much portion will be there for the software testing. Okay. And next one is the what is software testing? Anybody having idea what is testing? So this is nothing but the process of verifying system, and the purpose to identifying the errors, gaps or missing requirement as versus the actual requirement. Suppose the developer has developed the code. After developing the code, it is not directly sent to the clients. Okay, company will be there. Just you can take any Infosys company. In Infosys company having the many department. Okay, you can take one department. So each department having the different teams. So each team having the different team leads. Okay, so one team developing the code and another team is for the testing. So that first team is developing all the codes. That team will be sent to the uh, test testing team. So that testing team will be verifying the all this means all the systems and identify means what purpose we are sending that developed code to testing. Suppose if before sending to the client, if there is an error, okay, in that code, before only you should find out in the errors. And if there is an errors or any missing like modules, any requirement will be depends upon the client's requirement. If suppose if you have any miss the requirement, okay, automatically in the testing software testing time, automatically he will get the all the information. Means he has missed this much of the code. Means actually his requirement will be there in that module. He has not mentioned that module like that, and he has having the n number of the errors in this code like that. He will list out the all the errors, and after list outing the all the errors, once again he sends to the developer. Okay, the developer will be once again develop means where exactly the errors will be occur. No, once again he will be modifying the all the codes. After modifying the codes, once again he sends to the testing. Once the testing will be complete successfully done, means there is a no error, there is a no gaps, there is a no any missing requirement, then only directly can send to the client. Otherwise he has not sent to the clients. Because if suppose if you're not testing anything, okay, directly if you're writing the code, after writing the code, uh, okay, I have done my work, means I have completed this application. Okay, after just directly you can launch before testing anything. Okay, so after receiving the clients, suppose some modules will be not works correctly. Okay, if there is he has any errors will be occurred when executing. So once again he will return back, and he will not do means for preparing the one module he will taking some amount. Suppose if you're directly sending that module to that clients, so once again he will not contact with your company. Okay, that is the first thing. And once he will not paying the payment. When he will pay the payment, means depends upon his requirement. So successfully there is no error, no error free, means there is no errors, and he will satisfying fully, then only he will uh, take that application. After taking the application, then only he will doing the payment, otherwise he will not doing the payment. So these all drawbacks comes under the without doing testing. So that's why in everywhere the testing is the most important. For example, you can take in your cultural activities only. So before going to stage, means the main function, we are taking one rehearsal. Okay, so that is one of the that means we are first we are taking the one testing demo. Okay, we are taking the demo of that function. After the demo function, once again that will be same, we will represent it in the main function. So this is nothing but a testing. Okay, for example, just you can take the Nissan cars released, so some millions of the cars from the market. Okay, in this is a 4 to 5 years back, he has released one new car. Okay, so he has released the millions of the cars, okay, in that market. But some of the software failure, nothing but the there is a no airbags. Means airbags are there in that car, but with the sensors are not detected. For suppose if that car will be get accident, so automatically airbag should be open. Okay, no. So here the Nissan company has not tested anything, directly has launched that cars in the 4 to 5 years back. Okay, so automatically he will get the failure of that car. Means why that is a failure of that car? Because of the sensors are not detected in that airbag. That's why that car, that model will be fails. So these all comes, for example, you can take the in 2015 the fighter plane, nothing but the F-35, the fuel. Okay, some software bugs will be making, so unable to detect the target correctly, means the correctly it will be land, not lands. The in middle only it will be like the crash will be happen. So these all things will be happen without testing. So that's why before, if you're writing anything, any code, before sending to anyone, just you can test one before test, and after testing, then you can send to the anyone. For example, you can take your lab session or a lab only external. Okay, first you are writing the code. After writing the code, shows to the your respective faculty. Okay, if there is an error free, he will say, he will tell, okay, you can continue, means you can type and execute that program. If there is any error, he will tell, once again you check your code, and you can once again you can correct it. Then you can start execution. When this one is a error free, then only he will allow for the execution, otherwise he will not allow for the execution. So these all example for the testing. And next one is the testing phases. Okay, here we are using the two phases. The first one is the software developer as well as the independent testing. So for nothing but the component testing as well as system testing. Um in software testing shows the two fundamental activities. The first one is the component testing as well as the testing parts. Nothing but the component testing to system testing, and system testing to we are having the some component testing. We are having the different testing system. We are having the separate parts for the testing. One is the component testing separate part system, and the system testing separate part. So next one, what is before going to the next one, what is component testing stage? So component testing is nothing but it will be discuss the defects of testing individual program components. Okay, program components is nothing but the component may be a functions, object, and the reusable components. What do you mean by exactly the component testing stage will be works? Okay, suppose if you're sending any code, okay, it will be detecting the all the means, suppose if you developed the code, any project, okay, there are n number of the modules will be there. With help of the component testing, the component testing will be checks individual program of that component, means uh, one project will be there, so that is the thousands of the line coding will be there. Okay, so with help of the individual testing, sorry, component testing, it will be checks the every lines of the code, it will be checks. Okay, if there is an any defect will be there now, means each line, each comma, each semicolons, it will be checks. If there is any errors will be there, automatically it will be found the all the errors with help of the component testing. And next one is the system testing. So system testing is nothing but it is a part of the integration testing or the subsystem or of the component testing. This is similar to the component testing only, means it will be once again it will test, go through the all the programs. After, if there is any errors will be there or any defect will be there, it will be checks the all the defects with help of the functional and the non-functional requirement. Depends upon the requirement, we are specify the requirements, the functional requirement and non-functional requirement. Most probably this one explained the sensor in the first module or second module. What is the functional requirements and non-functional requirements of the software engineering? Once again, we are using here the software system requirements as well as the system functional requirements as well as the system unfunctional requirements. Depends upon the means how exactly it will be behaves unexpected ways. So that's like that we are using. This is system testing. And next one is the testing process has a two distinct goals. The first one is to demonstrate the developer and customer that software meets its requirement. It's nothing but here means here the developer or software. So he should take at least one testing in the every requirement or in the users. Okay, and the system requirement it should be in document or if you can take as a generic software products. And generic software product is nothing but it should be test all the system features, means how many modules if you have taken in your project. So it will be checks the all the modules, means all the features, how many applications if you have taken in that project. So it would takes the all the applications of that project and it will be checked, and that will be incorporated to the one product will be released. Means after completion of the testing, okay, means it will be checks the each and every line of the all the your project. After checking the each and every line, so it will be release the one product, nothing but the your result, means whatever expected result will be then yours, that result it will be displayed. This is the one of the most important goal by using the software testing. And second one is that to discover fault or defects in the software behavior of the software incorrect, undesirable, or does not conform to its specification. Nothing but suppose if there is any defects in that testing, okay, concerned with the you can take the all kinds of the undesirable system behavior, such as the system crashes, unwanted interaction with the other systems, or interconnected computations or data computation. These all comes under the this one, the second goal. Okay, so nothing but this one is a defect testing. And here the crashes, system crashes. System crashes is nothing but suppose if you are not able to install any operating systems in your PCs, so automatically your system will be crashes. So automatically the whole data if you have lost. So these all comes under the defects, defect testing. And unwanted interaction with other system. Unwanted interaction means how much I want, like if you're doing one project, okay, how much knowledge if you want your project, that one that is sufficient for you. If you're taking extra, like extra thing means, just you can take one example. uh, the- Suppose one stranger will be there if you're talking with the stranger, okay, in that case only how much, like only hi and bye, that is a fine. Or if I ask for something, just you can answer for the like the specific. If you're going beyond, if you're talking with more, means just you can ask for that family background, okay, so where are from, exactly where you're staying, like that. So unnecessary if you're taking like talking with that stranger persons. So this one is nothing but the unwanted interaction, means how much. For example, if you meet any strangers in any interviews or anywhere, or you can take any buses or bus stands or anywhere, okay, in that case just you can ask how much information if you want, okay. For example, in companies, if you're going for interview, so what information if you want, so at what time exactly the interview will be start, okay. That one is sufficient for in company interview in that time, okay. um, if you don't want, so how at what time into, that is a correct question, means at time exactly the interview will be start, okay. If you don't know, just you can ask and you can confirm it. So how many people are attended this interview, if you have any references in that company. So these all are the unwanted things. So just you can avoid the unwanted things in the software testing, okay. These all comes under the second goal, defect testing, okay. The main first goal, the validation testing. What is the mean by validation testing, okay. Just you can cross verify with your user ID and password. Suppose if I given the correct user ID and correct password, what will be happens. Suppose if I given wrong user ID and wrong password, what exactly error message will be displayed. First you can check it, okay. And second, defect testing. It will test the crashes of the design as well as expose the defects. Then how exactly the system normally tests. After validation test, how exactly successfully test will be done, and what is the performance, means exactly the testing performance will be doing correctly or not. Just you can check it. Suppose if you are using defect testing, okay, if you by using the defect testing, if it is correctly finding the errors or not. Just you can check. Suppose if there is any crashes in that performance incorrectly, these all things comes under the discover the situation behavior of the software incorrect, undesirable, or does not conform to its specification. The second group. Okay. And next one is the model of software testing process. Just he has given this is also called as a traditional testing process. So here he is using the different like test cases. The first design test cases, prepare test data, running the program with test data, and compare the result with test cases. Okay. Here the design the test cases. Design the test cases is nothing but the specification. Just you can give a specification to the your input test as well as the expected output. Okay, from the system plus the statement what exactly begin test, and we are using here in middle test data. Okay, the test data is nothing but sometimes it will be generated automatically. Atomic test means some test cases will be generated depends upon the output test. Means nothing but your for some people will be before sending the input you will predicted the what exactly output will be come. So these all comes under the test data. Means that nothing but the prediction. How exactly the people should be understand and what is the system should do for the next further. So these all comes under the test data. And normally in the test cases, you can give the any test cases. There is no restrictions here. Okay, you can give the any number of the test cases. After sending the test cases, uh, and it will be sent so that some test here just you can see here that some test cases will be there, design test cases. After designing the test case you can send the test cases. And why I'm using the test cases, test data, test results. And first before here also it will be sending the data and here also it will be sending the data. Why I'm using the two sides here? So this one is only okay for you know why. Once again, if you're using design test cases to here test cases to once again it will send you the test prepared data. So before sending the data, suppose if there is a data will be lost in middle. Okay, from design test cases from here to prepare test data. So automatically it will fetching the all the information from the test case. Okay, so after it will prepare the test data. Automatically it will prepare the test cases. Then depends upon nothing but the prediction what exactly the prediction output it will prepare the depends upon the test data. So it will be sent to the test data to running run program with the test data. Means whatever if you have prepared the data, just you can compile that test data. After that compiling the test data, you can send the uh, com- compared sorry compile test data. Nothing but whatever if you are getting the result, sends that result to the compare result to the data. Means year before sending the data, you test cases to before you can use the predict the whatever what exactly your expected output will be there. Almost all of you know. Means suppose if you're writing any program before, just you can predict after writing this type of the code, so how exactly the output will be displayed. For example, just you can use a binary sort. Okay, you can take one example. So how exactly the binary sort will be works, almost all of you know, all of you studied in theory classes. Okay, just you can writing the code before dumping. Means before compiling, just you can write the how exactly the binary search will be works. Okay, just you can that is your expected output. Like that your output will become after if you're sending if writing the code. And how exactly these output and that output, just you can compare the two outputs. Nothing but the compare the result of the test cases. Means before sending to the test cases, you are expected one output, that output and what this output, just you can compare the output. And just and later it will be generated the one test report. Means comparison report it will be generated. So this is nothing but the testing process. So for example, uh, so So all the system functions that are accessed through the some menu should be tested here. Here the combinations of the functions we are using nothing but the text formatting, and here it will be provided the both correct and incorrect inputs. Okay, suppose you can give the correct input, so what will be happen, just you can check. Suppose if you can give the incorrect, nothing but the errored output, errored program, you can send to the test cases what exactly the sorry, the result will become. Like that you can give incorrect as well as the correct input, you can give what exactly the output will become. Just you can compare the test cases, result of the test cases, then finally you can generate the test result, test result or test report you can generate. Okay, and next one is the system testing has two phases. Okay, before going to the integration testing, so what is system testing? So system testing is nothing but it will be involve the integration. Here also only he has mentioned integrated. Integration means the combination of the two or more component implementation of the system function. You can take the function or the feature of the testing, and it will test. After testing, if you are done, just you can integrate the all the system. Suppose just you can take the two things, means you can take the two program, okay, or two modules. Just you can take the, suppose if you are doing on project, so in that project if you are doing the two models, means the one module is prepared for the one team and second module is prepared for the another team. So in that case we are using now we are sending to the testing system testing. So in that case we are using integrated, means we are combining the two model, two or more components, means we can combine the two or more, means we can combine the means one project in companies. Not only the single team will be not working there, the n number of the teams will be working. So manager will be collect the all the teams, the project, nothing but the that like little bits of the code, and finally he will join all the code. After joining the code, that is nothing but the system testing, joining the codes, and he will implement the some functions and features, means like one application he will develop, then it will be sent to the testing. That is nothing but the combination of the two or more components or the two or more modules, and implement that functions, means compile that uh, functions, or you can take it as features, then test with help of the integration. Okay, next one is the integrating testing. So what do you mean by integrating testing? So here integrating testing is nothing but it will be accessing the source of the code, means suppose if you're writing any code, with help of the integrating testing, it will fetching the all the source code. Okay, if there's any problem will be is there in that code, it will be find outing the all the problems, means the integration team, okay, nothing but the integration testing or integration team try to find out the source problem. If there is any problem will be there in your code, so it will be checks and identifying the components, means which type of the coding language if you're using. And after they'll start for the debugging. Okay, after debugging with help of the integrated testing, the mostly concerned with the finding the defects in that system. Okay, first they will fetch the source code. After fetching the source code, they try to find out in the problems in the source problem and identifying the components, and he start from the debugging. After starting the debugging, once again integrated testing team integrate the all the problem source codes and finding the exact defects in that system, that is called as the integrated testing. Okay, in this system testing it will be identifying the customer components, means that delivered from the some system, nothing but the functionality of integrating testing, like adding, you can adding some codes. So first component you can add the top down integration, and second code the first integration infrastructure component, it will provide the common services such as some networks as well as the databases. How exactly you can access the databases? Database is nothing but here the information. Data is nothing but the collection of the information. Database management system means the collection of the information. You can store as well as retrieve all the information. All the information stored in the form of the catalogs. Catalogs is nothing but the folders. You can store all the information in the folders. Why I'm using catalogs here? So suppose uh, your pen drive will be there. Okay, so if you're dumping all the data, means videos, audios, any PDF world files like that, dumping in the same folder, it is complicated to fetching means finding the information. Suppose if you're creating the folders, so you can easily identifying the all data. That's why by using the catalogs, that's why you're accessing all the databases with help of the functional component, with help of the bottom up approach, nothing but the bottom up integration. So here we are using top down integration as well as the bottom up integrations. And in this figure, this is nothing but incremental integration testing. There are three test sequence he is using in the ABCD. Okay, the example ABCD are the components here. Okay, T1 to T5 are the release test cases in that future systems. Okay, the first one, just you can see the first one, this diagram. Here we are using the T1, T2, and T3. Other what T1, T2, T3, these are the test sets. Okay, the first run the system, it will be run the first system, it will compose the components. So T1, T2, T3 are the sets. The first run the system, compose the component. First run the system, compose the component is nothing but here A. The first A will be starts, and next the component B will be starts, and it will be takes only the minimal system, means the minimal coverage of the sets. Then after taking the minimal coverage of the sets or nothing but a system, they are correlated in the first diagram. And second diagram, once again we are using the component C. Okay, in normally the first diagram we are using the A, B two components, but in the third diagram we are using the A, B, C three components. So we are integrated A, B, C three components, and T1, T2, T3 with respectively we are using one more T4. Okay, so you can repeat it, ensures that suppose if there is any unaccepted interaction with the A and B. So suppose A and B normally in the test sequence is one. So first it will be take that minimal sets. So minimal sets means, so A and B it will be take the minimal sets of the first A, it will be take the T1 and T2, and second B it will be take the T2 and T3. Okay, now we are using the T1, T2, T3, but we are using one more component C. We are integrated the ABC, and one more we are using the T4 set. Okay, T4 set. Suppose if there is any problem will be arises in the test cases, means it will be interaction with the new component. Means suppose if I have taken any source code, the some problem will be localized. Simply it will be defect the location as well as repair. Suppose if I taken, so you can take the A as a component, so it will take the minimal coverage T1 and T2. B you can take the T2 and T3. So normally one more we are using integrated with C, T3 and T4. Suppose if there is any like problem will be arises by using T4 source code, so automatically it will find out in the defect all T1, T2, T3, T4, and after defecting the errors, it will repair all the sets. So by using the integration testing, the similarly same the sequence also for here also we are using the finally the test set T4, we are using T4 as well as the T5. It will be all will be runs on system. Finally the component T will be integrated here, and tested using existing as well as new test, means how many existing will be there. The only in the last the test sequence T1, T2, T3, T4, only the four sets will be existing. One more we are using T5. Okay, T5, how exactly the T5 will be working, And suppose if there are any finding a defect in T5, once again it will go through the T1 to T5, and after find out the for a correct defect. After find outing the defects, once again it will be repair the all the components of A, B, C, D, as well as all the sets T1, T2, T3, as well as the T4, T5. Okay, this is nothing but the example for by using the integrating testing. And next we are using the top down and bottom up approaches. The first one is the top down approaches. So this you can see the arrow marks coming from up to down. Okay, so how exactly it will be works? So suppose if I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is it? So I'm using module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So how exactly working the top down? Okay, the top down is working first. You take 1, 2, 2, 4, 2, 5, 1, 3, 3, 5, 3, 7. Like that, the top down approach will be works. Like that, suppose if you have taken the bottom up approaches, so it will take 4 2, 5 2, 6 3, 7 3, 2 1, 3 1. Like that, the bottom up approach will be works.